Welcome back to Visual Design for Multimedia. We are still working in WordPress, building out your portfolio website. And today's lesson is going to be focused on a couple of things. First thing we're going to go over is just how to add a contact form to your website. Nothing worse than putting your email address on your website and then having web bots record that, and you get tons and tons of spam all over the place. So a contact form will protect your identity, send on any potential contacts or jobs or opportunities, and then forward it automatically to you. So we're going to show you how to set that up. Jetpack plugin actually has a built-in contact form. There's lots of other contact form plugins that you can get out there if you don't like the Jetpack one. So we're going to go over that for a second. We're going to go over how to adjust custom CSS, how to do it through your customize additional CSS panel from your dashboard, your theme customization panel. We're going to look at some themes actually offer lists of custom CSS snippets out there. You can do some research in their forums and look them up. And then I'm also going to show you the style.css doc, and we're going to look at this through the dashboard customized theme editor and via FTP, so you can go into FTP and look at it there as well. So I'm just going to give you some different options out there to continue to customize the particular theme that you're working with. All right, so let's start off with a contact form. I'm just on the dashboard of my site. I've already logged in, so I'm going to go ahead and just create a new post. And once I have my new post, I can say, contact us. I'll just say contact instead of contact us. And please contact us via the web form below. And then I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to go ahead and add a contact form. So since I already have Jetpack installed, if I just come up here to the top and type in contact, you're going to see that I have a contact info, a contact form, a regular form. There's also some just WordPress forms, these widgets that you can bring in. Jetpack has a bunch. There's a newsletter sign up, a registration form, an RSVP, a feedback form. There's so many different ways. A WhatsApp button, an appointment form. Sorry, my guy's jumping around there a little bit. I'm just going to go with the standard contact form. So this is either through the Grow, or it's basically the same thing down here under Jetpack. I don't know why it's up there twice. So I'm going to add a contact form. Just that easy. I can come in here and I can customize this however I want. I can say, I need your name, I need your email, and I need a message. Maybe the message is optional. And as you'll see on each of these as we go through, there's some various settings. So I can click on these, and again, right off the bat, I can determine who is this going to be sent to. So just by clicking on the contact form and then getting the block settings to come up, the form settings, I can say send this to my email address. I can assign what the subject will be, that this is from the Flow ILM website, a contact, and on submission, show a summary of submitted fields. You can give them a custom text message like thank you for your submission. That's what I usually do. We'll be back in touch with you as soon as possible. Or you can redirect them to another web page, etc., etc. There's some other things you can do in here. There's like newsletter integration. I haven't done the CRM integration, and then some advanced CSS stuff that you can do as well. But I can come in here and again, you'll see there's a button here. Do I want this to be required or not? Like for this, I want the name and the email to definitely be required, but maybe the message is optional if they want to write a little message in there. Maybe they just want you to get in touch, period. Again, there's a little shortcut button here. That's this little button here required, or I can do it over here in the block settings. I can move this up, like if I want message and then email, I can do that just like I would do anything within a block. And I think within this setting, if I come up here and click on it, I can add more sections, I think, within. Yeah, so I can add like a separator there and move these up. So I can add more fields as we go to this system. I could duplicate this one, so if I want the message, or maybe I want the email field, like maybe I will duplicate this one, and just instead of email, I'll say like website link, and then I can say required or not required. Maybe that's not required, but I could customize these however I want. Or if I want to remove one, I just can remove the block, you know? So there's a lot of different ways, copy them, duplicate, move them around, and you can customize this to your heart's content. And then once you have it, you even have your button here. You could change the colors on it if I wanted to. There's some different styles. There's like a fill, outline, all these different elements that you can control on it. Looks like there's a white button versus a dark one on the Jetpack, depending on what you're trying to do. So I could come in here and change the kind of like look and feel of it. Put in a custom color, maybe make it more of a magenta. Yay. And yeah, that looks pretty good to me. Whenever I'm ready, I can just go ahead and preview it. And I'm going to preview this in a new tab just so I can see what it's going to look like. Very nice. And like I said, this is going to really save you from getting a bunch of spam in your inbox. You don't want everybody to know your email address. This is hidden behind some PHP. They can't get to it. You get their info, but they don't necessarily get a direct email to you. And easy way to add a contact. So that's just one way to do it. I'm going to go ahead and publish that because I will need a contact page on this site eventually. So cool. There we go. I've got one. But if for some reason you don't like the Jetpack plugin and the style that it brings for the contact form, just go to your plugins and let's go and search for a new one. So I can go to Add New. You know, you can all go out on the web too, but I could search for a new plugin. So I could say Contact. Actually, I'm sorry. Oh no, here we go. It's searching. And there's all sorts of ones. So I've got the Jetpack one plugged in already. There's Contact Form 7. WP Forms I've used a lot in the past, which are not just contact forms, but you can use them for all sorts of things, surveys, any kind of form info you need. Look at the ratings on these. You know, like WP Forms, 8,516 5-star ratings. It might be more than you need, but pretty good on the ratings on that one. Ninja Forms is rated pretty highly. Looks like Contact Form 7 is pretty high. I don't know if I'd get the one with just 99 reviews in the WordPress world. That's pretty small. There's a lot out there, as you can see. And then they start to customize and do specific things. And some work with MailChimp, and some work with, like, you know, all these different newsletter systems, and PayPal, and Constant Contact, and you know, there's a contact form for everything. But since I showed you in the last lesson how to install Jetpack, that's why I showed you a lesson today. It's just easy, and I know all of you want to be able to add that in as required as part of the project to add a contact form. You can put it on your home page, or you can put it on a separate contact page. That is up to you. So let me know if you have any trouble adding a contact form. Pretty simple process, and I'm happy to help. All right, next thing I want to show is how you can add some custom CSS to your WordPress theme of choice. So if I go to Appearance right now and I go to Themes, here's my theme I currently have active, right? It's called Blog Junior Portfolio. It's actually what's called a child theme of a bigger theme called Blog Junior. So that's Blog Junior Portfolio. Blog Junior is what it's based off of. We'll talk more about child themes and parent themes, but basically a child theme is sort of like a surface-only copy connected to the original parent theme. So they've changed some of the CSS and some of the PHP in this particular theme to do things a little bit differently than the original, but it still uses all the resources from the original. And this is actually an option you're going to have, I'll talk about in our next lesson. If you want to go further with your site for extra credit, you could create a child theme of your current theme. The beauty of creating a child theme is when there's an update to the original, it also updates your child. If you just go out there and like make your own hacked version of it, you're not going to get the updates, and sometimes it'll overwrite if you accidentally do an update. Excuse me, sip of water there. So if I click on theme details here, I can see that my theme was made by a company called Shark Themes. If I click on that, you're going to see that I actually go to the Shark Themes website where you can download the themes directly or demo them and look at all the different child theme versions. There's that Blog Junior Pro versus Blog Junior, which I have, and I'm sure if we searched around on here, we'd find the portfolio child theme of that. But up at the top, you know, you can always go to support and see what they have in here. They have a nice forum. So if you look, here's the forum for Blog Junior. and we can go in there and see what other people have asked about, like how to customize things. Blog Junior Pro probably has a little bit more. Error widget categories on the sidebar. So these are some problems that people have had. Not a lot going on that particular theme, but everything's going to have more or less. So there's usually the forums are a good place to look. Often that's where I'll post if I am looking to, hey, I want to change a color of this part of the header or of the footer or of a particular font in a particular place. What's the custom snippet, CSS snippet that I need to do that if I can't find it on my own? And then also look in the documentation section. This site actually has a pretty good one. So if I go to the Blog Junior documentation and I click on that, they have kind of documentation on all the various sections on how to customize my home page, my theme options, my page meta options. This is often where you would see a list of custom CSS snippets, little snippet code snippets that you could copy and paste. I've already looked through here, and unfortunately this particular theme does not have that, but a lot of themes do. Not everyone, but a lot do. And if I found them, then I could go back to my site, and I can go to Appearance, and I can go down to Customize. And if I go down here to the bottom to Additional CSS, this is where I can actually paste in custom CSS and watch it live modify various parts of my website. So unfortunately, like I said, this particular theme that I'm working with right now doesn't have a lot of custom CSS in here, but this is where you would probably find it, or in the support forum for someone. Now, if you don't already find it in the forum, and you don't find it in, just in their documentation, if I go back to my dashboard, there's one more place where you can look it up manually. And so if I come down here under Appearance again and down to the bottom and click on Theme Editor, now I actually get a view of my full stylesheet.css file. Now be warned, if you change this and then you scroll down to the bottom and you update the file, that's it, you've updated it. So I highly recommend before you change anything in here that you copy all the text. There's only in this particular style sheet 222 lines of code. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go to my code editor of choice. Actually, I'm not sure that I have one on this computer, but on my other computer, I have a BB Edit and Text Wrangler. Oh, I do have Text Wrangler, yay. You don't want to just copy this into like a Word doc because you're going to get all kind of styling stuff that's going to mess it up. So I would paste it in here and just save it as my like backup style sheet. And I'm just going to save that to a nice place where I know I can find it later. If I mess something up by modifying a line in here, even if it's a syntax error, like I forget to put in a colon or a period, then I always have a backup I can go to, and I haven't just broken my website, okay? So before you go in here, please make a backup, okay? It's very important. Otherwise, you're going to end up having to like redo your whole site. So it's really important that you don't just willy-nilly go in here and start changing code. But as I scroll down through, you can start to see things, page headers, different callouts, different like H2. This is like different, basically like font weights we're looking at for different sections. We can come down through featured posts, basically how things are set up currently. And you're going to start to see different colors here through hex values. You can change, like this is main navigation colors. If you can't customize these through the Appearance customizer, then sometimes you can customize things through the style sheet. Here we go. Here, you still have to kind of look and see main navigation, but this might be something underneath the main navigation, like a subnav. And these are different fill weights and colors. So you can start to kind of like figure it out on your own. And I don't usually change things in here, but this is where I'll go to find like, CSS header information to then try and go back up through Customize. So I'll have these open in two tabs. And then I'll come back into here, and here's where I will try to change things. I'll try to come in and copy out a section, paste it into the Customize, change a hex value, and save it here. Because if I don't like it, it's really easy to just delete it out of here, and then it's going to default back to whatever was in the original file. Does that make sense? So if I want to like change this border color, I might copy that out, the CSS snippet out of here, and then change something in here, versus everywhere else. So maybe I would just copy this section of .main navigation UL menu and then change that color and see what it changes when I come into the Customize tab here. One way to do it. Now, if you want to go super manual, you can also go through your FTP and log in. I've already showed you guys in the past one how to log into FTP. And then you can go into WP content here, and you can look for your themes. And then within your themes, here's my Blog Junior. Actually, it was Blog Junior Portfolio was the child theme. And look right there. There's my style sheet, style.css. And I can download that. I just right-clicked on it and download. If I go to my downloads folder, there it is. And then I can bring that into Text Wrangler. And I can edit in here. And this one actually had more of the like color information and everything else, where this one kind of came in all black and white. So this one's helped me just kind of see the code differences and call outs and things like that a little bit easier. And then if I do want to modify something here, again, make a copy first, make a backup. You can always then just drop it back in here and modify it. Now I want you to notice, here's where you can see the difference between like Blog Junior and Blog Junior Portfolio. There's not much in Blog Junior Portfolio because it's a child theme. But if I go in Blog Junior, you can see there's a whole lot more. So not just style.css, but all of the PHP stuff, footer, comments, functions. And that's also visible if we go back and we go into here. If you can see, you can choose different editors to see their style sheets and files. So Blog Junior Portfolio only has style sheet and theme functions.php and a README text file. So if I click on that, sometimes these READMEs have custom stuff in it as well, but this just has some information about who made this, et cetera, and some change logs and credits and stuff like that. But if I go to Blog Junior, the original parent theme here, and hit select, then you're going to notice I have a lot more. So I have the 404 template, I have the archives PHP. Again, don't go willy-nilly changing things in these unless you really know what you're doing, and always make a backup. But you can see there's also a style sheet. There should be a style sheet. Yep, right at the top. .css, and this is the full style sheet for the entire theme, the parent theme. So you can see there's a whole lot more than 200 lines of code in here. So if it's not in the child theme style sheet, it's definitely going to be in the parent style sheet. So, I know some of you are never going to go in here, and that's just fine, but I want you to know where you can find a lot of the original code that builds out your site and really controls the aesthetic look and feel of everything and how you can modify that. All right, I'll stop there. Please reach out if you have any questions, you want to go further, you want to customize deeper. If you're having a hard time finding custom CSS snippets, you want me to help you out, or if you want to try some of this more manual stuff with the actual style sheets, let me know, and I'm always happy to help. And as always, thanks for tuning in.